It's your life. You might as well live it. Hey, I am Chuck the Bureaucrat, and over the last couple of months, I've been talking to a number of you who are doing something intuitively that I think we might want to explore more carefully. The best way I can explain this is that military service members approaching retirement instinctively start doing like a life planning worksheet. Basically, they take a big blank sheet of paper and they write down everything. In a second, I'm going to give you some ideas about what you might include in this exercise, but before I do that, I want to talk about why this is so important for retiring military. Your transition from a uniformed service member into a retiree is likely going to be one of the most dramatic transitions that you experience in your entire life. It comes at a point in your life when you're an accomplished professional adult and you still have time to do more with your life. Your financial circumstances are likely to be excellent, certainly when compared to your civilian peers. And your sense of identity, your I am, it is going to change dramatically. But at the same time, the path that your life has been on for the last 8 or 12 or even 25 years has been fairly constrained. You might have had to make some big decisions about your military career, but at the same time, you were voluntold to do a lot of things along the way. So when you combine the freedom of retirement with the magnitude of the personal change, it's not a bad idea to stop for a second and say, who am I? What do I value? What do I want? And to do that, you're going to need some kind of tool, and that's where these do-it-yourself life plans come into play. Oh, and I should tell you that I'm not going to give you a template. I'm not going to give you 5 steps to follow. This is your retirement. It is your life, and you have to captain your own ship. But I'll give you some major themes that I've noticed people including, and I'll give you some idea about how you might use this once you've done it. First, what goes into one of these things? Well, who are you? What is your role in the world? What are your values? And what activities really matter? What do you want in the future? What about your family? What kind of work speaks to your heart? Or is there a special location where you want to be? Are there skills that make you special? Or are there skills that you want to acquire? Are there things that you used to love doing but you had to stop because of the mission? Are there things that you never even tried just because you had obligations? Are there things you hate doing and you never want to have to do them again? Are there things that when you do them, time just slows down and everything feels right? What about your health, your family's health, your finances? What has been on autopilot for a decade that you might want to go check on? You write it all down on that sheet of paper. You write small and you put everything down. Write it, rewrite it, move things around, just get it out on that sheet of paper. And I would suggest that when you do this, you don't show it to a soul. Maybe your spouse, but listen, this is yours. And I'm going to tell you that as you put more and more down in black and white, that the true you is slowly going to emerge to the surface of that page. Protect that intimacy at all costs and do not let some jackass tell you that you're doing it wrong. Because here's what really matters about that document. As you put more and more into it, it will become more clear to you what really matters and what doesn't matter at all. One of you called this a negotiation tool, and boy, oh boy, are you right. Without divulging any of the details and the examples that people have shared with me, I will tell you this one observation, and that is that superficially, these documents always look the same. There's just a lot of similarities between the considerations that say future civilian deputy or future novelist might have. But what matters on that page to each individual, that is what's different. Once you have created your own version of this document, you'll discover that some pieces of it sing to your soul, and other pieces, they make you sick to your stomach. I'll share this one personal discovery because a lot of people say that I would make a good professor. But guess what? The idea of teaching the same subject over and over to what amounts to a parade of classrooms, nah. On the other hand, fielding the strange and obscure questions that you guys come up with, well, that seems to be a challenge that really gets me up in the morning. So look, if you're approaching your military transition, you're about to plunge into a deep and difficult bureaucratic maze. You're going to need a personal compass to guide yourself by. And if you want a glimpse of the agencies you're going to be dealing with, watch this video about the different federal agencies that control the different elements of your future.